Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Rachel and I am knitting. Not right now, but most of the time. And I will be knitting. Today's video is all about my goals for the 2024 calendar year in terms of my making, meaning my knitting, my crocheting, my cross stitching, my weaving, my spinning, my sewing, who knows, my needle felting, I don't know. I'm not limiting myself in the categories that I will be making things in during 2024. But I do have an overarching, all-encompassing goal for the next calendar year. So I want to share that with you in this video. Before I can do that though, I want to give you a little bit of background on my account, my Instagram page, whatever, my Rachel is Knitting internet persona. So before I had my Rachel is Knitting Instagram account, I had my personal account on Instagram. It's since been shut down because I posted a picture of myself at a football game and Instagram immediately locked my account and said, "This isn't you, you're a fraud." Yeah, so I don't have access to my personal account, which is very annoying to me because I have all of the stories of, life during 2020 archived, and that is like a historical record of my life, in my opinion, to say nothing of the archive of, years leading up to 2020 and years after 2020. We have some family vacations that I have a lot of Instagram stories archived on, just like some really special memories. So I can't dwell on this. I can't talk about it too much because it will just make me a little cranky. But all that to say, before I had my public Instagram Rachel is Knitting account, I used Instagram in a private, personal way. So I had my personal account. And at the end of 2019, I decided I was going to make a goal for the following year. So for 2020, I was going to make a goal for myself to make sure that I was getting into the practice of knitting. I hadn't been able to do it as often as I had liked. I had amassed a good amount of yarn and I wanted to work through it. So at the end of 2019, I made a goal that I would make 20 things in 2020. If you've been following me for a while, you may notice that I like numbers that go together because I don't really think in terms of numbers. So if I can find a number that goes with another number, match made in heaven. Hence the 2023G challenge for the year 2023. But anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. 2020, my goal was to make 20 things. Now, I made this goal before anything about, the events of March 2020 took place. So little did I know when I made the goal of making 20 things in 2020 that I was about to have an ample amount of knitting time. So during 2020, when I was at home for the majority of, the year pretty much, I blazed through my knitting goal. I made sweaters, I made socks, I made hats. I think I made all sorts of things. Did I make scarves? I don't remember. I made a lot of things and I quickly hit my goal of making 20 items and I eventually surpassed the goal of making 20 items. I don't remember the number of things I made, but it was well over 20. It might even have been double. I don't remember, but I made a lot of things. The goal of making 20 things in 2020, and I used the hashtag Rachel makes 20 in 20. That's the hashtag. I don't know if it's still, like, if you search that, if anything would come up on Instagram because my personal account is, evaporated. But that's the hashtag I used. I kept track of everything on Instagram and it was really fun for me. I really enjoyed logging my finished objects in a habitual way, in a methodical way, in a detailed way. So basically I would, once I finished something, I would make a grid post and I would have the first couple pictures be cute, fancy, well edited. And then the rest of the carousel of photos, I would have screenshots of my Instagram stories from the making process. So it was really a scrapbook that my personal account ended up becoming a scrapbook of my making journey over the course of the 2020 calendar year. Now, that experience is what prompted me to make my Instagram profile for knitting, which is now what I know and maybe you know as the Rachel is Knitting Instagram account. So that's kind of where my public commitment to sharing my knitting came from, is from the Rachel Makes 20 in 20 challenge that I made for myself. So in the spirit of that, I am choosing my goal for 2024 to make 24 things. So only 4 more things than I had the goal for in 2020. They could be knit things, they could be crochet, they could be, whatever that has to do with fiber arts. So I have an e-spinner. I guess I could count a skein of yarn I make. I could count like a table runner I weave, or I don't know, whatever. I don't know. The options are endless. But I'm thinking, a finished object is going to count as an item towards the 24 items. I haven't quite thought through yet if I want to count any whips that I may finish. For instance, I have several whips now, like I have that purple ranunculus that you may have seen. I have a Stria cardigan that just needs the button bands and the sleeves. I have a handful of whips. I don't think I will count them actually as I'm talking it out. I think that in 2024, I want to make 24 things from start to finish. I do have some idea of what those 24 things will be. I don't have a comprehensive list, and I'm giving myself the grace and the room to change my mind. But some things that I know that I would love to make, I would love to work through at least one, if not more, of the sweater quantities that I purchased in Ireland. I think that it is going to be completely magical if I am able to wear a sweater that I knit from Ireland yarn when I go back to Ireland. So, meaning I don't want these Ireland souvenir skeins to sit in my stash for years and years and years. I want to work them up. So, I would love to make at least one sweater from yarn I purchased on the last Irish knitting tour so that I can wear it on the next Irish knitting tour. This goal may be a little different than others you've seen, or maybe others that you've done yourself. I'm not placing any parameters on my yarn stash, meaning I'm not going on any buying bans. I'm not looking for a net negative, meaning that I end the year with fewer skeins than I begin the year. I'm not looking at that at all. I'm simply focusing on the number of items I can make. Another way that this goal might be a little different than other making goals that we commonly see is that it's very flexible in what counts. For instance, a finished item could be something really big. It could be a sweater. It could be a giant scarf, a giant shawl, or it could be something small, like a rat, or fingerless mitts, or a hat. There are no limitations on how big or small or how much or little yarn something takes to count for the 24 items. So there you have it. There's my explanation for my goal for the 2024 calendar year. I hope that you'll join me, even if 24 items seems really scary or really daunting or really overwhelming. You don't have to do 24 items. You can do what works for you. You could do 1 item a month or 1 item a quarter, or you could commit to 2 items, 6 items, 7 items, whatever works for you. You could be really ambitious even and try to do 1 item a week. Whatever you want to do, I'm in your corner. Make it your own. So I hope that you are excited about this. I'm excited about it, whether you choose to participate or just follow along. I will be logging my progress towards this goal on Instagram. I'll be using the hashtag 24in24 if you'd like to follow along and use that hashtag yourself. I'll also be using the hashtag RachelMakes24in24, which is not only a head nod to the original hashtag I used on my personal Instagram account when I first did this back in 2020, but I want a personalized hashtag so I can click on it and see just my progress. So you could make one yourself saying whatever your name is. Tiffany makes 24 and 24. Jessica makes 24 and 24. Whatever you want to do, that's great. So I'm really excited. I'm ready for 2024 to start. I'm looking forward to seeing all of the things I make, because even though I have an idea of what I want to make, that always changes. I always surprise myself, for better or worse. It's just the way it is. But yeah, that is my goal for the next calendar year. I hope that a year from now, I can make a video that's super fun and exciting and walks you through all of the cool things I made. Hopefully I meet that 2024 goal and I have 24 items to share with you, but if not, that's okay. I'm sure that I'll still have fun and I'll enjoy the process. Now that I've shared my goal with you, I would love it if you went to the comments and shared yours with me. Whether it's a net negative, whether it's stash busting, whether it's yarn ban, there are no off-limits goals. Let me know in the comments so I can be inspired by you, I can learn from you, and I can cheer you on. But that's all that I have for you today. So if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you don't already, and hit that notification bell to be notified of my next upload. Last but not least, head over to Instagram and follow me at Rachel is Knitting if you don't already. All right, cheers to a new year and see you later. Bye.